Hi guys, this is my first podcast, maybe a talk, whatever you may call this thing. But I have certain thoughts in my mind which I feel I should speak to the world about the Indian education system. Uh, how I can talk about this is because I lived in Oman, the capital Muscat, from my first grade to my ninth grade. So I was exposed to a foreign country for a long time. Then I came to India directly for a 10th admission year. In India, 10th admission isn't easy because they take it at 11th. But when my sister completed her schooling there, and we had to come over here to study. So I joined a school here, and it was fine. I wouldn't blame the schooling. They were very supportive of what I was doing. The thing when I was in abroad was till my ninth grade, we weren't exposed to this. But you have to study this to get to this college. There's nothing that I was taught. I was just like chilling there. I used to play chess. I was competing there with a couple of students for chess over there. I used to play chess in my class and while I go travel in bus. I used to play with my fellow mates over there. It was a fun time. I used to play chess. I used to play in athletics. I never go to most of the classes, to be honest. I bunk as much as I be there. I remember with one of my friends, I faked getting my hand cut and I bunked a class with my friend. I think when he sees this, he thinks that, oh my god, he has said this. And on that note, when I acted to my mom that I had a injury with me, I had to like make it real, of course, right? So what I did was there under my desk there would be like a sharp side. I took a red pen, which I had like a gel type red pen. I just put it between my finger and hand, like I just colored it there, and I whole held a tissue also. So I when I told her first, like, ma'am, I got an injury, and she was like, no, I won't believe you. I was like, okay. I just showed her the tissue, and she was like, go. And I bunked for two classes with my friends, and it was a hell of a time. I just didn't have any stress. I just didn't care which college I'm going to go, what is going to be my life in the next 10 years. Nothing, nothing at all. So I was like chilling around. When I had the free mindset when I came here in India, uh, it was like an emergency situation. Like it just paralyzes you to like cope up with the different emotions people have and the way they think. It was very new to me because I have been with different people of different states, cultures, and all the stuff. But when I came here, it was very different. People had their way of doing things, which was not used to me. So I was like an outliner. I couldn't easily make friends initially, but I really made wonderful friends. And I think last year, with a couple of my schoolmates, I went for outing near Bangalore and all. It was a blast. It was fun. It was exciting. It's not that, but when I came here, the panic it causes, saying that, oh, you have a future now, you have to make these choices. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? To be honest, even I was there till ninth grade, I didn't even get exposed to NITs, IITs, and I didn't even care which college I want to go. I was like, okay, we have to study, get the grades done. There was no stress, and there were people with a lot of focus. We have to go here, we have to do that, but still, I was not in that kind of stress. I just knew you just have to study well and do everything. So when I came here in 10th, I was more of and the science enthusiastic kind of a guy. The last science event which I went was Techium. I was India's top 32 competitors. I was there, and I went to Bangalore to present my project. My project is in patent stage right now. It's still in review. I've not checked it yet, but it's still in review. For my patent, it takes a lot of time in India. That's another different topic of patent review and all those stuff. But yeah, I was there. I was also interested in a lot of science and innovation stuff. In my 10th grade, I won in a competition in the Southern India Science Fair. I got a special award in my 10th grade. But even that, I couldn't get a 10 CGPA. I got 9.6 at that time. It was good. People thought I used to study, but before that, I was like cutting classes, enjoying. But when I came here, the pressure was on. People had high expectations because, when you know that the goals of the environment are set, that this is how it is, you have to live. When you enter that, you have to get adapted to that. It sounds different. You can say, like, um, if people are playing football, you can't go there and play cricket. You also have to play football. So I was thrown into that situation of competitiveness. People were competing against each other, and I know after 10th in the Middle East, that after completing ninth grade, 10th really mattered because they won't give you a science group no matter how much money you pay. That was a clear cut thing, and people used to fight a lot in that case. Like after the 10th exams, they used to like, oh my god, I need to get the science group in so and so school over there. So when people don't get after completing their 10th, they, of course, 11th you can join in an Indian system, so they come back to India or do something else. So getting a science group there was a very big challenge. Here it's like no matter what you are, here it's, as I said, the environment is set, you got to be an engineer. So automatically, without no stress, no matter what GPA you get, you can easily get a science group. So it's already predetermined from your birth. You know it's going to be that, and the options are very low. And people might argue of saying, oh my god, you're saying other groups are also there, but I agree, but many of them still go to science with math. So it's always the science group, people always choose that. So I am interested in the science and stuff, so of course I would take it. 11th CBSE, there is not going to be much of a board exam kind of an environment, so you can chill around, prepare for your competitive exams. The competitive preparation was started from 11th grade itself. For 2 years ago, we had to prepare from now itself. So that kind of a thing was there. I cannot genuinely say that 11th grade happened most of the cases, but people still say it's part of the curriculum on the JE preparation part. And I was also put into the same environment of preparation. And 12th came in. And in that meantime, I used to like, I went to a state level competition in chess. As I said, I play chess. I won in a state level competition, I think third prize. Yeah, in state level competition, I represented Puducherry. I had a couple of good stuff. I met Kiran Bedi once. In I had like a debating session. I went over there and had a chance to like debate on what Puducherry had to be there. So these were some small things I used to do. And after my well, like already I'm there in the game, so it's more about scoring the highest grade to get into college. So I was giving my best. In the first session, I cleared my JE mains, but in the session I couldn't. Second part, because that was the year, I think in let me guess out the year. I think it's 2019 where they introduced twice, right? I think in 2019 it was like you can type two times was first introduced. I wrote the second time, I couldn't clear the second time, but with the first time, um, I cleared my JE mains, so I had to find an institution. But this whole screw up happened was I messed up my board exams. I really messed up. I didn't get the cut, so I was very like 2 or 3% away from my 75% cutoff. I was at 9.6, and it was like a big headache to me. And it was a problem. I couldn't get through the counseling process. It was like a big downfall. Um, it pains a lot till this day. It's saying that you cannot get what you wanted, or you don't even have a chance. So, as a consequence of that, my cutoff was low, heavily low. So I couldn't get into most of the top colleges here, and I had to figure out what I have to do in life. So that became a problem for me in the initial days. It was not, I have not left one shower without crying. That couple of months was like hell to me. I even questioned my own existence for a couple of days, because I'm there in the game, because I am in the last and I could not do anything. See, it's like you're not at the bottom, you're not at the top, but you're stuck in between, and you have nothing, or you have no idea of what to do next. It's a really screwed up situation, and you have no idea what you have to do in these kind of situations. And I was screwed up. I tried writing different exams. I could clear them, but I could not get to the highest. It was a problem. But when I went to different colleges with things I won, because I won in a southern level competition in science fair and all this stuff. I had good credentials of my skills. I used to go for debating and all these things. When I went for every college to say, see, I've done these many things in my career. Like, can you give me a chance? Or can you take me in? People said, no, your cutoff is low. My mom was with me in all the colleges we went. They said the same thing: your cutoff is low, your marks are low. And I know it's hard to say. My mom told me, Gokul, you could have stopped all these activities and better started studying at that time. It killed me at that time, saying, thinking, so shouldn't I do anything more and just sit and study in this environment, rather explore what you're good at? And you know, that's why I say our system is so screwed up. Even if you try to do something that becomes a part of you, it makes you happy as a human, but the system is so screwed up that you won't even have a chance to say, look, I have done these things in my life, and can you give me a chance? And system says, no, your cutoff is low, you can't, because you have to be a good credential guy who has all the marks, as well as you has to have the skill, and you have to have an interest of doing things as hobbies, but not as a chance to show that you're capable of doing it. You have to, like, see, everybody in India are not gifted to make those kind of sacrifices, but I had no choice. And it was really painful at that time, because I felt like competing or doing things or thinking new is a fault. Rather, you have to just sit and study all 3 years. That sums it up, because you may be good at things when it comes to reality and institutions and skill. It matters is whether you are having a good mark. People don't see you, they just see you as a number, right? It just not matter. If I am speaking today, you know me. If I've got just a number in that whole counseling list, nobody would have cared. Just saying, how much marks have you got? Have you got the credentials to do it? Things are changing these days, but I feel that's something we have to work on, because many of the foreign colleges we go, we have interviews. People who might have the highest score won't have the tendency to have a good communication, or some skill which they are highly passionate about, right? People want passionate people, but they don't embrace being passionate of things. They have to be an all-rounder of everything, and only then you have to prove in every point that you're the best. Only then you can compete. I don't think everybody can do that, but our system just wants that, and every parent wants that in India, and they have zero hesitation in asking it. And this kind of environment is common all across India, and I think that everybody is pressurized in this. And I was pressurized so much, even I had to leave everything and start thinking in different ways. So that's something we have to change a lot. Like, we have to give chances to people in these days. Like, people are evolving. Like, I'm from the Gen Z, like I was born 2001. People are having a lot of interest these days, and we have to embrace these kids, like saying it's not, it's about, there's a certain percentage you can take on things. If they have some skill which they really like, I think you can give them a chance in a good institution and maybe have a consideration of that. Some institutions are changing these couple of days, but I feel like other institutions might need to have a take on that. It's just don't take student on grades. People really good deserve a chance at some point, and that's something we have to work on. Like, now, thing is like college, right? So what did I do? Was the question. So I had some goals. I had some departments as choice. It was not like I was spread across everywhere. So I wanted to choose a specific book. I wanted chemical engineering. So there's very less colleges in Tamil Nadu which do have that. And my parents were strict on the money and saying that I will not spend a single penny extra other than the counseling fee. If the counseling fee is this much and the institution fee is according to that, I would pay. I wouldn't give you anything more than that, or don't expect me to. Just because you have a chance doesn't mean I would pay more money to get into a top institution. I'm not going to do that. Any private institution. So they were very cut and clear on that. Even before my exams, they were cut and clear on that. And I didn't even ask them. I said, okay, yeah, I will do what I can. So I went to the counseling system. So here in the counseling, I had no idea of what colleges I'm going to search for, or what it is and how it is and how it's going to be. Nothing at all. I had no clue. So I had to figure out a choice. So at that point, I was like at the most deepest point. I couldn't make right choices. So I just believed in myself, right? I just believed at that point. I just believed in myself, saying that okay, things have gone south. Just what do you want to become, and what is your interest? And I said, okay, I'm interested in chemistry. I'm interested in science, or maybe more into reactions and industries. So chemical engineering is something that interested me. And my mom asked another question, the second part: what is the future? Will you get a job? Of course. Will you get a job? So I said, there are a lot of opportunities. It depends on what specialization I choose. I can get into oil industry or medical industry, or maybe in process control, instrumentation kind of a job too. There's no problem, but I have to choose an area I have to work on. Also, I had another thing on my mind. I This competition of joining an IIT, and an IIT was still in my mind. I didn't give up. I did not give up. Thing is, even if these things went wrong, I was also in the newspaper saying that I, on behalf of my school, saying that I cleared the JEE mains exam. I was on the newspaper and all, but I couldn't make the cut. So I made the choice. See, my cutoffs are low. I couldn't get into a top college for sure. Uh, so I'm going to just choose any college, whatever it is. I just need a degree. I just needed a degree. So I just fixed that in my mind. I said I will choose a degree which I like, and I will get into an IT for an IT or an IIT for a master's for sure. Period. I told my mom the same thing. See, I want to get into an IIT. That's what I promised, and I will get into it no matter what. So I didn't keep an institution name at that time. I would get into this institution. I know the competition here. I kept in my mind, get into an IIT. Just do whatever is possible. So in 2019, I got an admission through counseling. At that time, it was popular, but in these days, NRF ranking is not showing up. At that time, NRF ranking was there, but uh, now it isn't. Most of the cases, like the specific institution, the branch is there, but I don't find that specific institution. So I chose it, and I 2019, and within a year, I think COVID hit. So the first year was pretty difficult for me because again I was still observing India more than ever, because till I couldn't balance out the years because India is still foreign to me if I compare the years I lived abroad. So still India is foreign to me. Like half my life, I need to cross another half of my life to. Yeah, that was a glitch. So I have to, like, yeah, again, I have to complete half of my life more to say that, okay, I'm in uh, India is very real to me. So I chose here, and still college was very different for me. People were from different state, like districts in the state. I had a lot of different friends. I tried making friends here too, but they were a bit different for me. I couldn't bond with them so much because their ideas were more different than what I was thinking. But still, I kept my focus, and I used to give a lot of presentations, paper presentations of different topics. You can find them like in my LinkedIn and all. Maybe I would have posted in my this research gate thing of different present technical presentations I have done on different colleges. I have won a lot of first places in a lot of technical presentations. Some of the profound ones are like fusion technology, like how it's the future, not the nuclear, and how to make, the topic was how to make a sun, or let's make the sun. Let's make the sun was the topic which I presented in Anna University. I won the first place. It was my first year of college, and speaking was not my deal because I lost a lot of presentations. But I learned from my failures, and I won a lot of competitions. I at some stage I said like, okay, you're paying a competition fee. I had to get the back the money, so I was in that kind of hype. And parallelly, I was preparing like anything for J, for, I mean, the gate exam, not the J. J is done. So I was like preparing for my gate exam. So like during COVID, as much as I can understand, because chemical engineering became an online session now, which was totally new to the world. I tried my best to grasp things because it's not there. I couldn't do the labs and everything. But when I came back every day after my classes end after 3 or 4, I used to sit in the library till 7 or 8. I didn't go to my room. I know if I get to my room or my hostel, I'm going to like go back to sleep. So I didn't even go back to my room. I used to sit in the library. The library ma'am would be there alone. I would be sitting alone in the whole library, like lakhs of books surrounded by my. So I just focused on my preparation every day. So that's how I learned chemical engineering in my library. I used to read a lot of books, Frogler. I remember a lot of books I used to study as guide, and McAllister books and on thermodynamics. A lot of books. I used to just sit and read to understand what I'm doing and what is so fascinating about it. So I loved what I did. So I studied a lot of what chemical engineering. I was very passionate about my studies, trying to understand different things. Then in my third year itself, I cleared my gate. So it was surprising because that was the same year. Coincidentally, they said you can write gate 1 year prior to your final year. So I gave my gate when I was in my third year, and I cleared my gate exam. It was really a good feeling at that time when I cleared my gate exam, my third year of my college, and it was in 23. I cleared, and on 24 I couldn't clear. But the funny part was 23 was the toughest gate exam, which I cleared in chemical engineering itself. I cleared that exam, I think around 1600 rank, which was pretty good. And I was confident I'm going to get into some college for sure. So the major stress for the final year was taken out. And I didn't sit for placements in my college. I was very sure that I'm not here for a job. I'm here for getting into an IIT and see what it is all about. And I gave my shot and I cleared it and I gave into my counseling system. So now when I went into the counseling, there were different colleges I applied to see what all are the chances I would get. And by the time when I was in my chemical engineering, I got more into fascination of material sciences, specifically on ceramics. So I know about ceramics. Ceramics is like more popular these days. Like people talk about the ceramic materials used in rockets and like high tech purposes, especially like, because it has a good toughness to it, and like it lacks fracture toughness for sure, but it has good hardness and the compressive strengths are good. And if you make composite materials out of it, it becomes more interesting, like carbon fiber, how to make alumina fibers. There were different topics which I knew in glance at that stage, but I just thought like, okay, it's not there in our range. Let's try and see where it takes. So I gave a shot in different groups. Chemical engineering was my prime, but I also got this a chance to give an interview in one of the IITs. And before the counts in my college, which I graduated from IIT BHU, there's a policy where they give you the selected people list before the counseling itself. So I got selected in ceramic engineering, and I was in the wait list for chemical engineering. So I when I got into the counseling, I got it in my first round itself. So it was a choice whether you take it or leave it. And my thing, as I said, I didn't have specific college where I have to go and do this, but I thought it was interesting, and the college definitely had a lot of heritage, and the alumni was good. So I thought, okay, let's take ceramic engineering and go with it. I did really good. I had good friends. I was happy in Varanasi for 2 years. It was a wonderful time. I thank God for blessing me to keep me in Varanasi for a long time. Um, and it was my first other state to visit in India after Tamil Nadu. So it was really a blessing to me when I visited Varanasi. It was great. I got gold medal there, and it was a good feeling. So overall, the journey was like this. I was at a nothing stage, and I got into a point where everything is of my favorites, right? So things take time. It's not easy. It is definitely not easy. I would promise you that. I have a lot of small instances that happened too. It was very challenging, but I think that's another day. But people think that there is no hope after things, and I'm telling you, like nothing after entering IIT. I'm telling you, like you get an tag value, but more than that, everything is always skill based. You got to skill up. You just got to know what you like, and I'm good at speaking. That's what I'm good at. I'm good. I speak really well. I know how to debate well. Uh, I've had a competition, like I don't know, some people might know, speak for India. I was one of the top 32 there also as a finalist. I lost in the final stage because I lost my consciousness in the sense my thoughts went wrong. I didn't deliver what I had to supposed to, because even the organizer was shocked, like what were you doing, man? I lost my chance in the television that day, but people still know me. I failed heavily in many places, so damn heavily. I could not bear it, but still I'm here. And you have to take those things from experiences. And like when my exam preparations were in IIT. It's not like you know what is the professor going to ask. They would make the toughest papers to make sure they fail you in some way, and they make frame it in that way. You get more like 40 to 60% of the marks. Less next 40% is more into your thought, and you have to give your mind into it. It's not an easy paper to clear, and I had to study a lot. I had no kind of exposure of these kind of preparations, but still, I gave my best shot to clear these exams as the best possible way. And it was that alertness which I experienced in my school days, saying that, see, these things really matter, right? These things really do matter. And even if I say now I was top 32 and all in national level competitions, like, ah, that's good, great. But people are still here in that stigma of saying that you have to prove with credentials that you are there to compete, or you are the best uh, in this field, right? So it's not always true. World is different, guys. Like, you can be whatever you want. You just got to be brave, and you just have to believe the process. Everything you do has a purpose in life. It's not that like, how would I say, uh, it's not unplanned, right? It's planned. It's more just you're exploring it, and you just have to give your time and not lose hope. And people say like, oh, you've gone there, so you are happy and you're speaking on. But like, no, it's really hard, right? I and even my college days, I give the same advice. You just had to believe. There's nothing else you can do about it, right? I can't uh, say some spell to just change everything. You just have to observe things and learn from it, iterate the same thing and see whether you pass the next time, right? So you just have to give continuous iteration with your life so that you can improve your future. And that's something we everybody has to focus on. So even if, again, if even if you fail in getting into these colleges, or saying like, see, the system is screwed, man, you're not. Trust me, you're just there in that ground where you are best in something else, but you're thrown into the ground to play their own game. Play your own game, choose, make your choices. And I feel that everybody must have the confidence to say that, see, this is how I'm going to live my life, or this is the one how I'm going to pursue it, right? And even if you're not brave enough, just give it a chance. You will fail heavily in every part, but you have to take the shot to at least give a hope to your life. Life is once, right? So you have to give a chance. And if you let your surroundings pressurize you and leave all your scope of what you really want to become, and if you have taken the judgment by the people around you, I say just start rethinking everything, right? Don't lose hope. Just because you don't get one thing doesn't mean your life is over. There are different ways you can get into the same place. And I'm telling you, when you get there, it's going to be empty, man. It's not going to be there. In the movie Soul, like, there's a Pixar movie. Uh, there would be a musician. He wanted to play jazz in one of the bands, right? So he goes there and he dies in one of the accidents. He goes to some kind of an heaven where it decides what soul is and what you're going to become and stuff. But he crosses all those challenges and he comes back. And when he is successful in playing or being part of the band, he asks one of the head musicians or singers there, like, is that all? And she says, once a fish, small fish, asked to a bigger fish in the ocean, like, where is the ocean, right? You are in it. So you just have to understand that point. where you're already there, right? It's just your choices. It's not that when you reach that everything is going to change. What it's going to change is the process you've gone through, and I think everybody have to get to that point of acknowledging the process rather than sit and wait and say, oh my god, this is that's not happening, that is not happening. You have to go through the process and just enjoy the process, and things do turn out good in the near future, right? So that's all I just wanted to talk today. And if you do like this, please do subscribe. This is a small channel I'm trying to grow.